Hello again, guys. So how's it going? I hope you all are doing very well. Now, today I thought that I'd briefly discuss this executive order that President Trump had recently signed into law. But before we do that, I'm pretty sure that some of you, or maybe a great number of you, have seen this video that has gone viral of this advisor to President Putin, the president of Russia, stating that he believes that President Trump intends to use cryptocurrencies to wipe out the entire debt of the United States. And when I saw the video, I thought to myself, I wonder where did he get that idea from?
Who knows, maybe we'll pay off our $35 trillion, hand him a little crypto check, right? We'll hand him a little Bitcoin and wipe out our $35 trillion.
So there you have it, guys. You heard it from the horse's mouth, from the man himself. That's what he intends to do. And to be honest, it's not that crazy and out there as you think. Let's have a look at the numbers for a second. The gross domestic product of the entire globe, the GDP of the globe, in 2024 was $110 trillion, okay? So that's what the globe is producing in a year. And that just occurred in last year. Now, the market cap for all of cryptocurrency is, I think, around $4 trillion. Yes, around $4 trillion. And Bitcoin's market cap is, I think it's just above half of that. So it would be around $2.3 trillion. Okay, guys? So all of crypto's market cap is $4 trillion. And the United States owes around 35 to 7, right? Currently, I think it's around $37 trillion. And what Mr. Trump here is implying is that he hopes that he could use the cryptocurrencies to wipe out around $37 trillion. Now, the question is, how would he pull that off? That's what we want to discuss here today. Now, in order for him to wipe out around that amount of debt using cryptocurrencies, this is what I'm thinking that he is thinking. Okay, so you know how the United States used their dollar as one of the world reserve currencies to gatekeep purchasing oil in the Middle East. It's one of the world reserve currencies, one of the SDR, special drawing rights, like the Japanese yen, I think, and the British pound and the euro. The United States dollar is one of the biggest. It sits above even all of these in the special drawing rights. I think it's at the top, even among these in the SDR. So just as the United States is used to gatekeep the purchasing of oil, I think currently it is currently being used to gatekeep the purchasing of cryptos. And what Trump intends to do is to continue to use it, but not only that, to make it number one and prevent any other country to supplant it. So he intends to use it to be the number one on-ramp to gain access to purchase cryptocurrencies. Now, like I said, it is currently being used. It is currently basically number one because of coins like Tether, which is the biggest stable coin currently. And then you have USDC. But because of this Genius Act that he's just recently signed into law. Now, what the Genius Act is, for you guys who don't know, the Genius Act is basically a green light for the issuing of stablecoins. It's basically an act to regulate stablecoins and to issue several different types of stablecoins. State-issued stablecoins, stablecoins for banks, institutionalized stablecoins. So this Genius Act gives them a green light. And I believe that in the long run, the ones that are not regulated, that are not government issued, they're going to go away. I believe that personally, this is how they're going to get Tether down the road. Because if he intends to supplant, to be number one, to use the US dollar, a government issued stablecoin to become number one, to gatekeep access to cryptocurrencies, he's going to have to get rid of these foreign owners of the stablecoins. And the owners of Tether is not necessarily Americans. You see, so what I'm thinking is that eventually they're going to get rid of Tether. And this is just like the first domino that's about to fall. But this is not yet. This is further down the road. Let me just hold that for until the end of the video, as far as Tether. Okay, so let's go back to the wiping out of the debt. So in the first place, how did the United States work up so much debt? Well, the way you work up debt is you continuously spend more than you are making. So the country was doing a whole lot more spending than they were making in return, you see. And that, along with excessive money printing, caused the debt to increase over time. Now, what I believe President Trump is intending to do here in order to wipe out the debt is something that is directly connected to the flash crash that we've been talking about here. The Bitcoin flash crash to zero and the reset, because they're basically one and the same thing. Now, how would he go about doing this? And like I said, this is just a discussion. I'm going to also want to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions also in the comments, so you can feel free to leave your opinions there as well. But this is what I'm thinking. Since the US dollar is the gatekeeper and all of these stablecoins are going to be backed one-to-one with the US dollar, which, by the way, is basically a fiat currency, which means that it's backed by nothing. As it says here, it's backed by faith and confidence, which is quite literally nothing. Because over the years, people have been losing faith and confidence in this United States dollar. So yeah, this is what I'm thinking. With the Genius Act, it has just opened up the doors for a whole lot more liquidity globally. It has not only opened up the doors for new investors, but it has also made it much more convenient, much more easier for even people who weren't interested, who weren't even thinking about cryptocurrencies, to jump in to purchase and to come on board into the crypto space, you see. Now, some of these countries are some of the countries that the United States is indebted to. And when they come in order to gain access to cryptocurrencies, they have to first purchase or borrow the United States dollar. All of these countries that the United States are indebted to. So the United States owes them. These debtors, in order to purchase Bitcoin, as the president suggests, you'd write them a Bitcoin check, which is basically an IOU. In order for them to gain access to Bitcoin, they would first have to purchase the currency of the country that owes them. So they are purchasing the United States dollar. They are borrowing the United States dollar to buy Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies and to leverage against it. Okay? So after they have done this, the price of Bitcoin inflates. It goes up, right? All of this fresh liquidity forces the price of Bitcoin and the cryptocurrencies all the way up. And then what they do now is pull the rug suddenly. They pull the rug from Bitcoin. Bitcoin tumbles, flash crashes all the way down to zero. And then as a result, the altcoins, all the other coins also crashes significantly, with majority of them flatlining as well. And what ended up happening is everyone is liquidated. Everyone is wiped out, just like what the horse just said in that video. You heard it from the horse's mouth. They'll be completely wiped out and liquidated. And in this way, the debts of both parties are canceled. You see, because these countries that the United States had owed, they had actually borrowed the United States dollar to purchase Bitcoin. And in a case like this, where you have a flash crash and everything is wiped out and people are liquidated, they had also become debtors of the United States. So the lenders would have become borrowers to those who have borrowed from them. And in this way, both of them, the debts of both parties, would automatically be canceled. I hope you guys understand what I'm trying to say. That is one way that I'm thinking that he intends to wipe out the debt of the United States. And like I've mentioned before, the numbers, if you don't think that that is possible, like I said, currently, the entire cryptocurrency market cap is around $4 trillion currently. And the manufactured spike has not yet taken place. When that takes place, I can see the market cap for the entire cryptocurrency space to more than double, triple, quadruple. It could quite easily go up to 20 and even to that number where he intends to pull off this stunt, up to the 30 odd trillion dollars. That, yes, guys, it's possible. The entire cryptocurrency market cap could swell to up to those numbers, up to $30 trillion. So it's not that far out at all. The idea of using cryptos to wipe out the debt of the United States is not that far out. Not if you get all of these countries to buy a lot of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, especially to use the US dollar or to borrow the US dollar in order to purchase Bitcoin via margin trading and to leverage Bitcoin and these other cryptos. Then someone pulls the rug from beneath all of their feet, you see. And then Bitcoin tumbles significantly, crashes down to zero, as we've seen many times. And we know that it's coming in the flash crash to zero. That right there would be the cancellation of debts, because the entire system would be reset. So that is how I'm thinking that, they would pull it off. But I don't know, you guys, please let me know what you think in the comments. You can also share your thoughts and opinions of how you think it will go down. So now let's quickly go back to Tether. Now, I think that eventually they're going to have to do away with Tether. If indeed they intend to use a state-issued, United States government-issued stablecoin to gatekeep all of cryptocurrency and to be number one, they're going to eventually do away with Tether. I know that currently, because just recently, they had created a stablecoin. I think it's called USAT, which is somehow a part of Tether. I'm not entirely sure how it works, if it's a part or it's connected to Tether somehow. But all I know is that it's new. It's brand new. It's called USAT, or I think it stands for USA Tether. I don't know. But all I know is that at some point, Tether, USDT, they are going to make it go. They're going to make it go away. They're going to cause it to crash, just to remove it, you see, because they want total control. And with these foreign owners, they don't necessarily have total control. And Tether's market cap right now is the biggest stablecoin in the space. I think it's around 2-point-something billion dollars market cap. And they're going to get rid of it. Now, I've also mentioned prophecies on this channel which suggests that Tether will at some point depeg to the upside to around $5. And I still do believe that. I believe that will happen temporarily at some point during the flash crash. And that will happen out of not only FOMO, but people just trying to find alternative places to park, to put their money, quite literally out of panic as well, because there aren't that many lifeboats in a case where there's a flash crash and you have like millions of dollars and you want to just move it from one asset to another. There aren't that many lifeboats. And like I said, the market cap for Bitcoin alone is $2.3 trillion. In the case where Bitcoin is dumping overnight, where do you think all of those trillions of dollars are going to go? They have to find somewhere to go. This is the liquidity shift. And it's going to shift into Tether. And when Tether is unable to hold that amount of liquidity, which quite obviously it can't, because that math doesn't add up at all. 2.3 trillion to just 200 billion, around just over 200 billion in no time. You see, Tether will be bought up. So I can most definitely see how it could depeg to the upside temporarily, which means that its value would increase, even though it's a stable coin. You see? And then the rest would go into other coins, again, causing them to spike violently. All of this liquidity, these trillions of dollars, after they jump out of Tether, not jump out, but after they had bought up all the Tether and all the USDC that's available and all of these other stable coins, it's just going to pour into some other coins. I'm thinking that's when we're going to have those ridiculous spikes, huge spikes, like into Shiba Inu, XRP. That's when I believe XRP is going to spike up to $500. It's going to do it fast, guys. I am thinking in less than a week, quite possibly in 2 or 3 days. It just spikes up there to $500 because it's going to happen in reaction to the liquidity shift that occurs when Bitcoin is crashing down to zero, and several other cryptocurrencies as well. So yeah, guys, that's how I think that he would accomplish wiping out the debt, the $35 trillion debt of the United States with crypto. I believe that it would occur when the flash crash, when Bitcoin flash crashes to zero. I believe also that it was planned literally by these global elite, and they're going to accomplish it. It's going to happen. You see, sooner rather than later, it's going to happen. But now first, because of the Genius Act, the manufactured spike is going to take place. The Genius Act has literally opened up the doors for the manufactured spike to take place, because all of this liquidity is coming into the markets globally now. That's what's getting ready to occur, because they have like more on-ramps to gain access to the purchasing of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies in general, because of these new stablecoins, these government issued stablecoins, these state-backed issued stablecoins, and they have made it more convenient, as opposed to in the past, the whole space was just so restricted and filled with all manner of regulations. Very difficult they made it for people to purchase cryptocurrencies. But now this president has come, he has flipped the script and has made it much, much more convenient, much more easier for the regular guy to jump in. And it's even going to get even more convenient for them to buy it. But what those people who are jumping in don't know is that it's one giant trap. It's fixing to be one giant rug pull. And if they don't take their profits when it's time for them to take profits, they too are going to be wiped out. I've seen it in visions, guys. This is the manufactured spike that's getting ready to occur. And many people, I see it in the vision, they're put on their seatbelts. They have strapped themselves in because they think that it's going to go to the moon and over. But no, no, no. If ever you're to see this market spikes up, you take profits. You position yourself at the back door. Don't be sitting down with your seatbelt on thinking that it's going to go up forever. No. Position yourself at the back door of this plane in preparation to jump out, because a massacre of biblical proportion will follow. Okay, guys, so this video is already way too long. And, I just wanted to discuss this Genius Act and let you guys know that it has just opened the doors for the bulls, for the manufactured spike. And this is how the reset is going to come into play. Now, you guys, please take care. Peace. Shalom. Until next time.